Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Luna. Dire team pick.
Snap the sack.
Radiant team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Keeper of the light.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining.
Yo, what's my jubs? It's time for game number 2 between Team Freedom and Team Red. Here we go. Got some more Dota and stuff. Dota stuff. Cool. We got the West Dragons fan picked up for Team Freedom. Darkseer hasn't been banned out yet for Team Freedom, so they definitely could pick up that for IX Mike if they want to go for that same kind of combo that Team Red got in game number 1. Team Red, they go with the Luna and Coddle again this time around. They pick up that creepy old man in the bushes with a flashlight, and we'll have to see how they do with that one. Oh my god, it's only 8 o'clock. I love these playoff times. I love when we start the last match of the night at 7 p.m. so they don't have to be up at like 12 casting Dota. That's fun. Midnight casting sucks. I get tired. I was like, during the group stage when we were doing games, I would literally be sleeping through some of them, and I would just start saying something and I had no idea what was going on then. I would just start talking, and eventually I would get up to the end of the sentence and be like, how did I end up here? I'm talking to like about candy or something. Why would I talk about candy? That's strange. It was very weird. I don't really know what was going on then. Sleeping and casting at the same time. I don't know. Certainly not asleep right now. After that last game, Team Freedom and Team Red, either team, like they were just so into it, all over each other. Those fights were ridiculous, and as tanky as Team Freedom were, it took so long to take them down. It was absolutely ridiculous. Be picking up the Omni-Knight here for their lineup. We're going to make sure that the Sven never dies, or their mid laner never dies for Team Freedom. They really want to make sure that their heroes have a lot of sustain. Same with the Leshrac. Sometimes he can take quite a bit of damage. When you see the Luna and Coddle start, I think the Repel definitely makes a lot of sense from the Omni-Knight, especially when the mana weaks start getting thrown out. So, Team Red, they'll be able to get the Coddle and the Luna, and now the Ogre Magi to buff these heroes up, mostly with the Bloodlust. Also create a little bit of control early game, kind of tanky to get through the health of that one as well. So,
10 seconds remaining.
Team Red, they gotta win 2 matches now in order to win this best of 3, and that kind of thing against Team Freedom has often seemed like a monumental task, but they did really well in game number 1, picking a lineup that it was really difficult for Team Freedom to try to play against, but eventually our Red boys, they succumbed to the endless pressure. So hopefully Team Red got a little bit of motivation between the games, maybe a couple of lipstick ads as well. We'll have to see. I haven't seen a Pudge at all for a while from Jenkins. He's definitely one of the big guys that loves to play that hero. In a couple of different positions, he's really experienced on the hero and has played it in quite a few pro matches, but not since the matches that I've seen him. Meanwhile, Team Freedom, they're up to their 4th pickup here. Have a lot of different ways that they could go with it. They may decide to throw IX Mike on the Omni-Knight. I think they've done that before, where they just put him into the offlane on him. They run aggressive with their tri-lane, or at least play aggressive with it. And they'll get a Juby Tusk. Juby is absolutely fantastic on this hero, and should be able to get around fights pretty well. It's just, sometimes you see a player on a hero and you know that they're absolutely fantastic on it, and then they still do things in the game that surprise you, that just seem to defy expectations, and Juby's Tusk is one of those things. Now hopefully he's able to do nearly the same thing here, but generally we see some great things from his Tusk. Same thing for Team Red. They'll be picking up the Sand King here for themselves, adding to their contingent of stuns and very good damage with the Caustic Finale. Pretty much means we're going to be seeing the offlane Sand King from Team Red. And that might be pretty easy for Team Freedom to play against. They do have a couple of AoE things that, if they get used on the Sand King, should be able to get him out of Sandstorm when he tries to hide. And could also control him before he goes for the Burrow Strike. Now Team Freedom will be able to ban out the Darkseer, because they certainly don't want that. And that pretty much confirms that we're going to be seeing an IX Mike Omni-Knight. They ban out Tomato's Ember Spirit. And that'll lead us to the last pickup here for Team Red. They
10 seconds.
are down to their last legs here. If they lose this one, they'll be knocked down to the lower bracket
5 seconds
of
remaining.
the KOD League season number 4. And let's see, they will play against
Dire team pick.
FDL in the lower bracket, which would be an interesting match. I think the Team Red did put up a good fight in game 1 and possibly could knock FDL out depending on how that match plays. I don't think that FDL have been looking too great, and their matches against Duop weren't really good at all.
5 seconds remaining.
They'll go again with the Bloody 9 puck.
Reserve time.
And it did perform rather well in game number 1. Hopefully Team Freedom get a better matchup for Tomato here, because just Draw Ranger versus Puck was really bad for him. I mean, it was absolute domination from Bloody 9, and Draw Ranger had no way to get into that lineup. Was sitting at about 8 last hits when Puck had 30. It was not really a good look at all for him. But eventually he did get the farm that he needed to, and the help from the Weaver was enough to stay alive and dole out quite a bit of damage. It will be a Zeus from him. Again, a little bit squishy, but slightly easier for Zeus to get some farm on the mid lane. He doesn't have to stay as close. Can get harassed a little bit by Ogre Magi coming into the lane, but he should be a little bit better now. Thing is, they don't have a Weaver now for time lapses, so the Omni Knight's gonna have to be pretty much on his game in order to keep his teammates alive. All right, so that will do it for our draft here in game number 2, and we just have this game to play here. If Red win, they'll be taking it to a game 3, our first game 3 in the KOD League season number 4. You know, in past tournaments that I've done, namely the Pro Dota Cup, we had nearly all 2-1s in the playoffs for quite a while, but we have not seen one yet in the KOD League season number 4. So maybe these teams are a little bit further apart. I don't know, maybe we're gonna be able to see Team Red make our first 2-1 of the event. But the thing is, I think that teams are, as they get used to the patch or as more of them adapt, some of them adapt a little bit faster than others, which results in certain ones being a lot better than others. So I think that's what's leading to a lot of our 2-0s in the first couple of rounds. It's going to come down to a little bit more, hopefully, in the next rounds of the event. Our Mad Kings will play against Duop. We've got the winner of this match versus a Wheel. So yeah, those are definitely some matches to look forward if you want to stay around this event. Should be a lot of fun. Looks like Ogre's doing a little bit of jumping as Luna tries to get out of the ground. I always miss that spectator mode because I can't go into it, even though spectators on Dota TV can. Tusk seems to be in the ground. Hopefully we are ready to go soon. Always love it when we have people go into the bathroom. There we go, there's a face. Alright. So here we get into game number 2. All of our heroes are ready to go. They pick up Cluckles the chicken. I don't know which one it is anymore. I can't mouse over it. And meanwhile, Team Red have the basic courier. So Jenkins could get a very deep ward down. He's actually got both of them for himself here. And Freedom, they are not even smoked. They're just all rushing down towards bottom. They will smoke now. Jenkins over to the side. He puts down a ward, and it hasn't been scoured out. Freedom will go around the backside. Jenkins could break it. Okay, so the ward placed down by Freedom. Down very deep. They're smoked up still. Jenkins won't get caught out by this. Meanwhile, there is one hero seen at top as It goes over towards the rune spot. He's got to be careful because Team Freedom, they are waiting around the trees here, and the spin wall will come through. In a lot of trouble. Here comes the Stormhammer. They need the Split Earth as well. They'll be able to find the Illuminate come through, but it's way too late. BSJ takes a lot of damage from the tower, but it's not going to be nearly enough to kill him, and he'll get a nice little salve from his team. So they did go a little bit too early in order to get the rune. This is taking a little bit more damage from the Illuminate. Ryu will come through here, but he's got to be careful as well because there could be another snowball, and BSJ is back up to full health, and they could go for him. Ryu's so very close, and they will go for the snowball right there. Stormhammer again. Eagle with the Split Earth. Just an ogre running into a bunch of damage from Freedom again, and it seems like he didn't learn anything from the Luna getting killed off. So that's gonna be 2 kills right off the bat for Team Freedom. They do lose a lot of mana as a result, but guess what? We have shrines in the game now, so it's not all that big of a deal. We'll just wait a little bit for the Lishrak to get over there possibly, but they'll pop the shrine actually. Yeah, I thought they would be nice and wait for Lishrak, but nah. Lishrak doesn't matter. We'll go over to the lane, and this tri lane already off to a great start. Annihilate gets a little bit of free farm. Every deny in a last hit. We have that usual Mike versus Monster matchup at the off lane. Having a little bit of fun over there. As Freedom, they'll go for the aggressive tri lane again. Eagle's so fantastic on his Lishrak. Juby, amazing on the Tusk. And BSJ just sits there or something. I'm just kidding. But they'll get a slight pull off to the side. Ryu forced to go deal with that one. They'll get a deny off. At top, Monster getting slightly low to Mike, who is at level 2 over Monster's level 1. Monster being forced out a little bit. With Mike doing quite well on the CS. That wave will push in now. Waiting Monster to get a few last hits and maybe some levels. But he has gone for Burrow Strike level 1. Yep, there is a Burrow Strike through as Mike will get kept there a little bit. But all the action should be at bottom. So I'll try to start to do a couple of more better observer things. Eagle, he'll get harassed out a little bit by Ryu. He'll cancel the clarity and dance away. That's probably the only reason I would play heroes nowadays when I pick, is for the taunts. If it doesn't have a taunt, I don't really want to play it. Look at this Tomato already doing really well against Bloody 9. He's out of mana, but he's already done great in the lane. Just 13 last hits over Puck's 10. Jenkins will get zoned up by Juby, and that is the Ice Shards blocking him in. Jenkins forced to back away here. Snowball is available, but Jenkins is right next to the shrine. Perhaps Juby goes even a little bit deeper for this one. He's got to get away from the shrine, though. He can't really push it in any further. Eagle getting low. Nice Stormhammer keeping Luna away from this one. The Split Earth will come through. Diabolic also doing some damage. Ryu, he will take a lot from it. He's the only one here. Can they go any further? They have the Split Earth up in 2 seconds, and they will go for it, but Ryu is going to dodge it. However, he does not dodge the full damage, as Eagle will help BSJ to find the kill. And again, Freedom just working with the Lishrak as best as they know how to. Ice Shards keeping Jenkin away. I might start to think that there's a word here from Team Freedom, but the first 4 kills do belong to them. I don't know what that sound is. Mike again making life very difficult for Monster. Caustic Finale should be able to even out the lane, so Mike kind of has to get away from that. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my sound, if there's a problem with it. I don't know what I hear anyway. Mike doing a, oh my god, I actually didn't think that he would find that kill, but he throws out the purification and actually kills off Monster. We'll get most of his mana back here. Can purify. A lot of last hits. This is a little bit unexpected, but he was doing very well in the lane before. And Zeus will get the bottle delivered back to him in due time. And we'll go over and pick up the Arcane Rune. Meanwhile, Monster, he's going to turn around the tables on the Mike. Some more kills in the off lane. At least I Annihilate, it's still getting some okay farm here at bottom. Keeping up with BSJ for now. Zeus back up to full health. The mana with the Arcane Rune in the bottle. He might be able to put out a lot of harass on the Puck now. Puck at level 5. Zeus a little bit lower, but he does have the Arcana. Already taking Puck pretty low with the Lightning Bolt as he pops the Arcane Rune. And he'll get the Puck very low. The Waning Rift just used there, and well, Zeus decides to go a little bit deeper. He'll actually find the kill. Wow, okay. Zeus really putting out a huge amount of damage against Puck, who seemed to underestimate it. Illuminate now coming forward from KOD. Jenkins wants a little bit of farm here. Well, probably didn't realize that Tomato has the Arcane Rune up. We'll go forward with the Arcane Orb, but no, Illusory Orb doesn't do anything there. And now the push could come in bottom. They're gonna have some vision of I Annihilate there. They'll go in with the snowball. When's the next stun gonna come through? That is BSJ with it, and Eagle, he throws out the Split Earth as well. They use everything for it. Ryu tries to get away. They don't have another stun for this one. They'll use the Diabolic Edict though, and can do some damage to the tower with this. Or Eagle decides not to, because who cares about damaging towers, right? Max Mike wants to go into Monster a little bit more here. He's at level 7. Oh, we've got a snowball out onto the KOD. They'll get him in range for the Stormhammer, and they get another one at bottom. This is just not even going well at all for Team Red. The Tri-Lane for Freedom, it's doing what it usually does. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Now Omni Knight, he'll get stunned, doesn't... Oh, there's the Purification. Might try to turn it around on the monster, but Luna does have another Lucent Beam, and he tries to do something here, but she should have the damage able to kill him. He'll stand here. Another Purification, can't quite find monster with it. That would have been the kill. But he wasn't in range. Zeus throws out the ultimate, but it still doesn't end up killing the Sand King, who went down to about 5 health. And the shrine will be able to get popped here. So, and we got a snowball over to the creeps there just so that GB can get over to the shrine a little bit faster.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
29 still sticking around at mid though. We're only 7 minutes in, and we already have 8 kills for Team Freedom, 2 for Team Red. Tomato gets over to the lane, throws out the Lightning Bolt. He knows that the ultimate is down for another 50 seconds. The Illusory Orb comes through, does some damage, but not a whole lot. And they switched the lanes over here. As soon as the bottom lane went down, they switched the tri-lane over to top. They've got BSJ going to work at top. They've got Eagle there as well with the level 2 and the Diabolic Edict. And Onyx Mike, he seems to not really care about the fact that he's very deep on the Radiant side. Jenkins is hiding in the trees with his creepy flashlight. Meanwhile, at mid, Tomato will get caught out, and the Dream Coil will also go out on the Juby. He'll use the Snowball to try to stay alive a little bit longer, and he actually just goes out on the creep. Now the Dream Coil will lapse there, but it's more than enough control from Team Red to be able to get the kill there. So even though Juby very smart with the snowball, he'll still end up going down. BSJ popping the God Strength for another tower at top. We have Red. They're very quickly being taken down to the last legs here. He goes up to level 3 in the Diabolic Edict, and he will melt this tower down. It's time for Team Red to make a defense. Freedom only pushing this in with 2 members. Lucent Beam gets used. They still have the Dominated Creep going ham onto the tower, and they should be able to back away from here. Ogre's starting to move up, but he's not got any mana. Freedom might realize this and might decide to go for the tower, but now with the TP coming in from Puck, they have to get away. Burrow strike from the backside. They're going to miss the Illusory Orb on the BSJ. They're also going to miss the Split Earth, and that's not his shrine, so he's going to have to get away. Turns around for the Stormhammer, but he can't even throw it. So Team Freedom lose a couple of kills there, but they still take the tier 2 tower very low. All while Tomato is being allowed to continue farming. IX Mike is still doing his thing on the other side of the map, and Juby is getting a couple of levels at bottom. Tomato managing to find the bounty rune here, getting a little bit of mana back. BSJ, they just want to take all the tier 1s down, very quickly making it happen. The courier comes through, Monster's going to see Juby, and Epicenter's getting charged up. Juby, he's going to get stunned, and that will be the death of him. Meanwhile, inside the dire jungle, Ryu. Okay, nice dodge of the split earth, but Tomato's doing this play as well. Illuminate comes through. IX Mike, he needs somebody to be on top of Ryu and able to throw the purification out. Another split earth off the mark. They can't quite find him. They need some kind of setup with Tomato, and well, Tomato keeps going forward, and actually Ryu managing to survive a little bit more through that than Zeus thought he would. Just popping the magic stick there, negating most of the damage of the ultimate. But they'll still find the kill. And BSJ was still managing to farm the mid lane while all that was happening. Looking for when our Veils come out. Actually, Puck might be going for a Blink Dagger first, whereas Tomato will be getting the Veil of Discord soon. Maybe a go on the top. Jenkins is here. Eagle wants to push this in a little bit more, but the Illuminate will make things very difficult for him. IX Mike is around as well. He'll be picking up the mechanism soon. Tomato picking up the Veil of Discord now. Bloody9, he's trying to decide. Yeah, it will be a Veil from him as well, so these mid laners are pretty even. But Zeus is ahead by about 1200 gold. Basically the difference of having the arcane boots or not. Annihilate working towards his helm, still trying to farm. He's rather low though. The early game was very difficult for him. Freedom creating a lot of chaos in the lanes as they move around. Smoked forward by Ryu and Monster. They want to get that Epicenter combo. Level 10 for Monster. He's got plus 200 mana. Monster to the high ground. Looking for Tomato. And we're getting closer and closer to that Blink Dagger for the Sand King as well. They really want a good timing on that. Right now you kind of get the feeling that Freedom are looking for some ganks around the map, but they're not really finding them. As a Team Red contingent goes to the top lane for IX Mike, he's going to run right into them. Monster has the Burrow Strike and he could be able to charge this out. Yeah, he's going to charge the Epicenter and they kill off IX Mike in the top lane. That should mean that Freedom are able to find a tower in mid, because Eagle immediately gets over there and wants to go with the Diabolic Edict. He'll just go right in. And TP to the mid lane will get cancelled by Coddle. Oh, Puck will be able to dodge out the Storm Hammer. Lots of damage there from the Snowball, and he can't get out of everything. That Snowball will follow him to the ends of the earth. The tower hasn't even died just yet. Eagle keeps the Pulse Nova on. Will get slowed down a little bit by Ryu, but the Ignite will not do enough. Freedom finding another one on the mid lane, and they still can go for this tower. The God Strength still there. IX Mike staying alive at top, but the mid tower can still get pushed in. They really want to get these tier 2s down. They've got Diabolic Edict still going. As soon as that tier 1 dies, they can get the fortify back up, so it will take a little bit longer for Team Freedom. And they'll learn their lesson from last time and back away from the tower. But BSJ is still farming inside the jungle, and he's done enough damage to the creep camp that he can let the trolls go on to it rather than him. I annihilate to the bottom lane, letting Sven know that there is someone in the vicinity. Those trolls will keep going for the camp here. Red's still trying to hold out the top lane. They realize that Freedom could push this in pretty hard, especially with how low it is. And getting a tier 2 tower off the map is really how Freedom want to play this. They're still working on their items though. Sven has enough for a Blink Dagger, which he was trying to build up. We've got IX might get the mechanism, which he has now bought as well. And Tomato working towards the Yules. He is near the top with the farm as well. Into the Roshan pit? Maybe? IX Mike would have to go for it, and they need BSJ in here for some damage as well. And he's not even close. He will TP over. This doesn't really seem to be the right play, but Diabolic is still doing quite a bit of work onto the big guy. And as soon as BSJ clears out that top wave, he will make his way into the Roshan pit. So this takes quite a while. IX Mike uses a lot of mana for it, but they still have the shrine available for them to pop, and BSJ will get in here soon as well. He was scouted walking over to the pit, so Red should know that this bottom tower is very easy for them to take. Fortify comes through. Juby's here to knock things out, but he's got to be really careful. Just wants to slow things down for Team Red. And the Roshan goes their way with Eagle again picking up the Aegis. So it'll be a tier 1 for Roshan. He's still very far up here. He needs to be careful that he's not picked off. Red are waiting just out of vision of him. As Ionite walks up, GB will get Dream Cold, and the silence will be there. It was way too far up as Team Red very easily find the kill. But Freedom, they want to push into tier 2 as well. Red will take a while with this, especially with the Fortify being there, and there's also a centaur behind the tower, making it so that Jenkins really can't stand there at all. So tier 2 for tier 2 right now. Also a little bit of damage at mid. Freedom might even think about pushing into the base. They still have the Aegis on Eagle. ESJ is going somewhere else. But with the Repel and the Diabolic League, they will start to get some chip damage onto the tier 3. Eagle has to start to get away from here. The tower will begin to hit him. As the Repel wears off, IX Mike heals him up and tries to get him away. Freedom are still very close to this. BSJ going over towards the mid lane. Will Red decide to fight this at all? They'll have the Illuminate going through as BSJ gets back over towards top with the Blink Dagger. Freedom are still ready to push this in. They have their creep wave arriving now. Illuminate should take care of most of it. They've got to get the Diabolic League going. They'll use another Repel out on the Eagle. If they kill him, it's still an Aegis there as well. 29 ready to go forward. That's going to be the epicenter out on the IX Mike. IX Mike cleaned up. That's going to be no Guardian Angel, no more Purification as well. IX Mike will at least get some kind of revenge onto the Sand King, who buys back immediately. Eagle nearly killed. That's a heal. And he's not going to get the Aegis pop just yet. The BSJ goes in on Blade 9, looking for the kill, but a nice Burrow Strike in from Sand King is going to find the kill onto our beloved BSJ. Eagle, that's going to be the Aegis being popped, but Tomato is still finding so much damage. He's got a lot of mana as well. Eagle getting away, Lucent Beam will hit him. Looking for the, oh my god, that's flared out on 2, but the Burrow Strike through is a lot of damage. Eagle's still doing a lot. Tomato needs to find the kill, and he will be able to get it out onto the Luna, but he's got literally no damage right now. Trying to go for the man fight on the Bloody 9. Monster into it. He's got the Burrow Strike available. He'll go for the Sandstorm to try to get a little bit forward. Tomato looking for a little bit more. That's going to be the Veiled Discord onto him. He'll try to juke it out, but Monster comes in from the high ground. He's still got to get away. Silence out onto Tomato. Veil of Discord looking for the last hit, and the Caustic Finale will pop, which ends up killing Tomato, finishing off the full 5-man team wipe on Team Freedom, but it took quite a while to do so. I have no idea what that fight recap is trying to tell me. And the tower manages to stay up. Eagle wants to go forward. Blade 9 still has a phase shift whenever. And BSJ is still farming. Blade 9 going around the backside for the shrine. Oh, we might have an initiation on the mid lane though. GB's ready with the frost shards, but they're just going through a creep wave. They don't even have an Aegis right now. They might start to think about pushing in the bottom lane. Blade 9 will get over there. BSJ is starting to chase him down. Blade 9 really shouldn't get caught out by this. Use the orb towards the creep wave. BSJ ready to go forward. He's got the blink, but Puck is just waiting for that Stormhammer to come out, and he'll also be recalled by KOD. BSJ can't get close enough to stop that. So that will keep the push going in towards bottom for Team Freedom.
Dire's middle tower.
And this will be the last tier 2 tower that they have to take. Illuminate will keep the creep wave away for now. Very hard to keep those up. Purification will come through from Omni Knight, trying to give that creep the highest amount of survivability as possible. Jenkins gets a nice force staff away in order to stay as far away from BSJ as possible. But the tier 2 tower will belong to Team Freedom, and this is just how they play it. They get the tier 2s, they get the shrines. They get a huge amount of gold off of these pushes. Eagle starts to work with the Diabolic League, and Team Red will think about defending this one. They'll even use the Fortify for it. Monster making his way over there. Freedom will just get away. They'll leave the illusions. They'll go with BSJ this time. And this should be the Rex belonging to Team Freedom. 29 lying in wait at the top lane as Luna wants to push this in. They think it's only the Luna for now. They don't realize that 29 is back with the Invis rune. But the thing is, in order to be a bait, you have to be actually sure that the enemy team is going to try to get in there. And Ryu, he'll get the force staff over the side. The snowball still chasing him down, and GB finds the ultimate onto him. Can they get the damage? Tomato's there with the lightning bolt, and they do manage to find the kill. They'll also get a dominate on the Kari the catapult and start to push into the base. Great Blade still being taken out, but BSJ, he's in with the catapult, and he's feeling mighty fine right now. They'll go on for top. They'll take it down with the Diabolic. He might decide to keep going on this one just so they can get a full set of racks down, but they're actually going to go for the mid. They don't have an Aegis here. They have to be very careful how far they go. So Freedom will back up for now, and they will defend their top tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So that push definitely did take a while. Roshan will respawn in more than 2 minutes. Maybe Leshrac also building into a Crimson Guard so that he can make his team even more tanky. ESJ being very aggressive with this farm right now. So much magic survivability for them as Annihilate gets over to the lane. Sun gets thrown out by BSJ. Wants to make sure that this creep wave dies. And he'll get away because he knows that Red could very easily be reacting to that. Eagle on the mid lane, he can be caught out. There's the Veil of Discord. Needs to pop the Hood of Defiance. He has both the Hood of Defiance and the Pipe of Insight, so he's taking literally no damage right now. Here comes the Burrow Strike though, and BSJ's into the fight as well. Epicenter's been popped. These guys are taking a little bit of damage, but very little thanks to the Pipe of Insight, and they want to try to chase this down. Force Staff away from the Frost Shards. It's going to keep the Puck safe for now, but Tomato is waiting right for him. Nice waiting rift by Puck, keeping himself alive, and he's gone over towards the camps. Ryu, he's looking for some stuns, but he can barely get anything off. At least the Puck gets out. Or does he? Puck is right next to Tomato. There could be a stun thrown out. Okay, nice waning rift. 29 staying alive for now. Burrow Strike through by Monster, but they could just find him still. Monster trying to get away. There's the Zeus ultimate. They have another blink from BSJ in 1 second. They'll be able to find him. No Burrow Strike just yet from Monster. Purification doing some damage as well. Monster doesn't quite get the Burrow Strike over the side of the cliff, and IX Mike just slams him with the hammer to find the kill. Eagle getting in with the Split Earth, and he hits it onto the Puck. That's a huge amount of damage. They need a Blinding Light from the Coddle. Puck gets the phase shift, and another Blinding Light gets the Puck out of there. But now it's time to go for Jenkins. Jenkins not quite getting hit by the Snowball. They're all going in here. Split Earth does hit finally onto the Coddle, and they should be able to find the kill here. Frost Shards rolling right over him. And Freedom still want to go for this tower, huh? Roshan should be respawning in 2 minutes, so quite a while for Team Freedom. But there is another shrine for them to take over at top. So they'll make their way towards that and start to hit it, possibly. No, BSJ is still farming, he's fine. They can push in top to try to get that Rax. BSJ starts to go forward. Eagle's still farming on his own right now, and he showed just how tanky he was in the last fight, taking a brutal initiation from Red and barely even dying at all. So much magic resist for him. So eventually that top lane will push in. We've got IX Mike going forward a little bit. They have some vision here. And the KOD knows to get away as soon as he sees IX Mike come into vision with the observer ward that he has on the high ground. BSJ cleaving through the creep wave. Huge amount of damage from him. He's also working towards the AC. That poor little melee creep. It's nearly dead, but it is regenning quite a bit. Illuminate should be able to find him though. Oh, nope, not just yet. They'll go for Puck. Puck blinks in, and he's going to be met with a lot of trouble. He gets the phase shift off. Can he actually get away from here? No, that's going to be him dying. Epicenter will come through. Eagle's just taking no damage from it at all. Buyback by Puck. That's going to force out that pipe of insight. We've got a TP in from Tomato in a little bit of trouble. Puck uses a phase shift to try to get away. There's a silence out on the Sven, but the Yule Scepter will keep him up the air. Dream Coil keeps them there in the area, but Puck, he actually cannot get away at all. Split Earth out onto Monster. That will kill him, and the Luna's going to flop on the ground as well. They have a couple of buybacks here, but exactly what good is it going to do? BSA forward. He absolutely slaps the KOD in the face. That's the full 5-man team, and that is the game. Going to Team Freedom, winning this one 2-0. That's a lot of 6s on the end of it too for Team Freedom as they take a huge team fight to end it. And you just don't mess with Team Freedom when they get their heroes. They've got the Tomato Zeus, a Juby Tusk, and